This video is going to be about how the mainstream mental health industry, such as the community mental health clinics, which are approved by the government, is used to promote a leftist agenda. Now, what you have to understand is people drawn to psychology or social work tend to be those that are drawn to subjectivity. They do not believe in objectivity. They believe in perception over fact. Now, that being said, this has also infected the scientific community. But back to square one. While I worked in mental health, what I noticed quite quickly was literally everybody involved that worked at the community mental health clinic that I was at was a hardcore leftist. For example, they supported Obamacare, despite Obamacare having a negative impact on our clients. It would have had a negative impact on them. But beyond that, you see a resentment of any type of right-wing ideology. But yet what's interesting is a almost solid promotion of Christianity in the guise of leftism, though. I'm not in the guise of leftism. Leftism in the guise of Christianity. What you will also see is an absolutism when it comes to subjectivity of gender and subjectivity of sexual orientation. That has gone out the window. Now, there was an old dude there that he passed away. He was a doctor of psychology. Now, he believed in chromosomal gender assignment, meaning that one's gender was what it was chromosomally. And he also believed that sexual orientation outside the norm was a paraphilia. But he was, of course, the minority. Now, why is this a problem? Well, the reason why this is a problem is people go to a mental health clinic. They bring little kids there, children, that they believe they're getting help that's equated to that of medicine, but it's not. One of my favorite memories was there was a girl there, a Jewish girl that was a conservative, and in a group, the group leader, who was a guy that was majoring in public health, he was from Liberia, and literally in the group, he goes, "Everybody here believe in abortion, correct?" And the girl, who happened to be a Republican, said, "No, I don't." And he said, "Why is that?" And she said, "Because it's murder." Now, you have to remember, this is a mental health group. Regardless of what your feelings are in regards to abortion or pro-choice, pro-life, what have you, this should not be brought up in a mental health group. But it is all the time. Things of this nature are brought up all the time. And I think one of the best things is it comes from the government down. We were encouraged to bring in more completely Spanish-speaking clients. But this is funny because you have to remember, I was one of the only people without an advanced degree at this place. Everybody had a master's degree or a PhD or a PsyD or an MD. And what was funny is we had these focus groups, and the one was how to bring more Spanish-speaking clients in, people to receive therapy. Now remember, talk therapy, to help them with their, quote, mental health problems. And the government wanted us to bring in more Spanish speakers, native Spanish speakers. So illegal immigrant is basically what it means. But what was funny is the one fat girl that worked there, a big fat pig. Now that's what's funny too, is a lot of these therapists are land whales. They can't, what's funny is they're telling people how to fix their lives. A lot of them live at home with their mom and dad, and they're 40, and they all weigh 400 plus pounds. Well, not all of them, but a good number of them are well over a healthy body mass index. Now what's funny is this fat frickin' pig she goes, "I don't know why there's no Spanish-speaking people that come here for therapy." So, of course, my stupid ass raises my hand, and I explain, "Well, we have nobody that works here besides two people that I personally know that speak Spanish. One was Puerto Rican and the other one was Mexican. And they're not therapists. They were case management." So, of course, this big fucking bulbous pig goes, "Well, I think it's more than that." So I had to get smart, and I got written up for a comment, an off-color comment, and I stated, "Well, what do you mean?" And she goes, "Well, I think it's cultural." And I go, you don't think that perhaps the fact that nobody speaks Spanish might be keeping people that speak Spanish from receiving talk therapy here? And of course not. So I said, well, what is your idea? That we all wear sombreros and ponchos? And that was taken as a, quote, racially motivated, a racially charged statement. Now, what's hilarious about that is clearly this was a joke. Clearly, my friend that was Mexican that was there was not offended. She didn't care. But this hypersensitivity, they nudge children, teens, and adults under the guise of mental health toward a pro-homosexual, pro-homogeneity, meaning get rid. Not homogeneity is in racial homogeneity, but in getting rid of cultural identity. They push black culture. One of my favorites was there was this one black dude, and he never spoke a lick of, like he would, jive talk. And the one therapist, this long-haired, racially confused Irishman, goes, I think he talks the way he talks because it's a defense mechanism. And no, the reason he talks the way he talks is because he's talking jive. He'd been talking like the way they all, well, not all of them, but the way a very black cultured individual talks. So I guess what you need to understand is, and the more you learn, the more I'm going to do other videos because I'm running out of time, but you will see that there is so much government mental health interaction of pushing a narrative of white guilt. One of the trainings I was at explained to white therapists that if they were literally raped by a black client or a Muslim client, that could not be rape because they were a white woman and that they were automatically the oppressor of these people. And that was coming down from a county/state funded training. So you can see how, and racial sensitivity, mind you, we were hammered with racial sensitivity, gender orientation sensitivity, all this crap. And all it is about making you feel guilty if you're white and heterosexual. That's all it is.